Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Marcus. Another 5-minute review, and today's review, we're going to be talking about the recently released on Apple TV Plus series Constellation. It's out as of this past weekend, February 21st, 2024, and it stars Noomi Rapace, Jonathan Banks, who you probably know from Breaking Bad and Just Call Saul, and then James DRC. And there's some other people, but they're not as big of names. Anyways, I watched the first 2 episodes, so you don't have to if you don't want to. But the entire gist of the show is Noomi Rapace is a astronaut, and there's a collision on board the International Space Station, and she has to find her way back. She has to escape, right? She's all by herself on the space station, and I will tell you that there's a bigger story than just Rapace's character having to escape the space station. There's some conspiracy theory stuff. I've read the synopsis for the entire season, but I watched the first 2 episodes, and so the first 2 episodes, very well acted. Noomi Rapace she is a fantastic actress, and so you don't get any shortness of acting here. And Jonathan Banks is very good. He's a very underrated actor, in my opinion. He's funny to look at just because his head's kind of bulbous and his ears stick out. But as far as an actor, he's very subtle, but then has very large, quiet moments. And so in these first 2 episodes, they're, the first episode, by the end of it, we know what she has to do. She has to escape the space station. She has to try to get off of it, get back to Earth. The second episode is more what happens in those moments, and then we start to get some clarity on where the show's going to go once she gets back to Earth. And so it's hard for me to really, and I wish I had enough time to watch it all and then provide this review, considering I like to drop episodes daily throughout the week. And this weekend was not a very good weekend for new things on the streaming platforms. But I will say I enjoyed what I watched. There is a lot to learn from these first 2 episodes and how this is going to play into the larger story of the show. And Jonathan Banks and Noomi Rapace are very good actors, and they've kept me engaged in the show so far. And so I'm going to stick with it. I think there's enough here in the first 2 episodes to kind of catch you. I can see where this show may dip. As far as like some conspiracy theory stuff goes, some supernatural-esque things that could take place, which I'm not looking forward to, but we'll see where it goes. But I recommend it if you're trying to find something that could keep you engaged and then also keep you kind of guessing on your toes. The VFX is pretty good here in the first 2 episodes on the space station and in space. The acting all around is good. The budget seems to be pretty high, and so now that could just be the first 2 episodes, and then when they get back to Earth, the budget sinks considerably. But I'm gonna stick with it, and I'll recommend it for now. But don't forget to hit the subscribe button when it pops up so you notice any future content right here on the podcast. And if you want to follow the podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, we're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube. So give us a like, follow, subscribe. And don't forget, the podcast releases weekly every Thursday on your favorite podcast streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, right here on YouTube. So don't miss out. We'll catch you next time.
When I was up there, the only thing I could focus on was getting back to my daughter.
I miss you, Mummy. Will you be careful up there? Mummy, who was that?
It was you and me right before the accident.